Alright, it's March 1st. I've never found morel mushrooms this early, but we've had over a week of weather in the 60s and 70s. I think we had one day that broke 80 degrees. It's been unseasonably warm. And morels are temperature based, so once the soil starts to warm up into the 50s and stay there, the morels start to pop. Typically, your black morels come up before the yellows, but we're checking on a patch of yellows that's always real early. Normally I'd let them sit another week and grow so they get bigger, but somebody else found this spot 2 or 3 years ago, so now it's kind of a race to see who picks them first. I don't know who it is, never run into them. I just know when I come out here, sometimes they've been picked. Alright, we're coming into the spot now. If they're not up here, I'm probably going to have a hard time finding anywhere, because this, like I said, is one of the earliest spots I know of. So, I'm still poking around. They're eating size. Now they look like grays right now because they're immature. Grays just grow up to be yellows. And there's different species of yellows or grays, but these are the big yellows. And they're all gray when they're young. Now these will probably triple or quadruple in size, but like I said, somebody else has been picking this spot the past couple years, so we're going to pick these because they're big enough to pick. Oops, flick that off. It doesn't really matter if you cut them or break them off at the base or whatever. The main fungus all grows under the ground, and these are just basically like the fruit. There's our first 4 of the season, March 1st. There's another one. See if y'all can see that. Young and tender. Now I know some of y'all are going to say, hey, you need to use a mesh bag so the spores can spread out. But the spores are always coming out of these things, so as long as these have been growing here, there's been spores coming out. Also, I've been using plastic bags in this exact spot for like 4 years now, and it has not hurt a thing. There's still just as many as ever. So, I'm not too concerned about using a mesh bag personally. These little grocery bags fit in the pocket nicely, and I've always got some laying around, so that's usually what I end up using. There's a big one over there. Oh, there's one I didn't see. Smaller one. Oh, another small one. And these are real small ones. When they're young like that, they blend in a lot better. But we got one big one already. That one's been up for a while. Oh, look, we got some young ones. We're going to leave these to grow. We can pick this one, but those two real little ones, they need to grow. There's a pickable one back there. Yeah. Anything that's really tiny, we're going to leave and come back. Hopefully somebody doesn't beat us to them, but even if they do, we're getting the first pick of the year. I stepped right over this one. There's two right here. I'll pick the one on the left. See, the younger they are, the more gray they are. This one here, this bigger one, it's not completely fully grown, but it's getting there. That one wasn't going to be very big, it looks like. But they get more yellow as they mature. I've seen some in this patch that were like 8 inches tall. That was before somebody else started picking them. Now they don't seem to have the chance to get that big, but that's okay. They're kind of a little better eaten. I haven't really noticed a difference, but people say they're better eaten when they're small. There's not much to that one. Anything growing over bare dirt, when it rains real heavy, it'll splatter the dirt up into the mushroom, and then the mushroom will grow around the dirt, so you can't wash it out. We got a pretty big storm coming in tonight, so I got here just in time before it got all splattered. This one's kind of dry. That one's got chopped off by a slug or something. We'll leave that one. Keep looking around. Oh, here's one. Not much to that one. So what kind of trees are these growing around? Typically I don't see a rhyme or reason for what kind of trees they grow around. It's really kind of random. This particular spot has got a lot of Chinese privet and young elm trees. There's a hackberry. I don't normally find them around elm. This is one of the only spots that has a lot of elm where I find mushrooms. Looks like a box elder. There's some red cedar, a ton of Chinese privet. Most of the mushrooms are growing around the privet. Looks like maybe some old ground clearing work was done here years ago that disturbed the ground. Maybe there's a lot of dead wood under the ground, dead root systems, or I don't know what, but just kind of a really random spot. And I think the reason it's early is because it's a younger tree canopy and it gets more sunlight early and gets warmed up earlier. So the mushrooms pop up earlier. Persimmons, just random trees. So you really can find them just about anywhere. There's really not much rhyme or reason. Just got to keep your eyes on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 so far. Let's go pick them. Looks like the pickings are getting slim here. Yeah, it's getting hard to find them now. We're gonna come back in about a week and see if they haven't been picked out. See if there's any more to pick, because I left a lot of little ones. Alright, we got one more spot I want to check. Hopefully we can get over there before we run out of daylight. But hopefully I can find it, because I just found this other spot last year, and I don't know if I dropped a pin on it or if I'll be able to remember it, but I know the general area where it is. We're going to go check it out, see if there's any mushrooms there, and then we'll call it a day. I found this spot last year, and apparently I didn't drop a pin on Onyx. So if I find any now, I'm going to drop a pin. They do. Onyx Hunt app has a mushroom pin, so find any kind of mushrooms. I usually just use them for morels, but also for chicken in the woods, chanterelles, other stuff like that. I think we're in the right area. It looks very familiar. I'm pretty sure they were growing right in here. Not seen anything yet. It may be too early for this spot. We'll just come back in a week or so. Yeah, I'm not seeing any here yet, but we'll be back. I'm sure they'll be up here before too long. It's also getting dark on me. It's getting harder to see. Let's go back to the truck and take a look at what we found, see how many we got. I'll count them when I get home, but that's pretty good for a first haul of the year. Mostly immature yellows, but eating size, and we left a bunch to grow, so we'll be back soon. Alright, I have got everything laid out here at home. We got 70, if I counted right, 70 young yellows, a couple big ones. We left a bunch of them that are like this size. So there will be more if nobody else goes back and picks them, of course. There will be more to pick. Not bad for a first haul.